Ray Carsillo, and we're at the Disney booth here at E3 for the Tron Evolution game. I have the pleasure of talking with David Patch, who is the senior art director for the game. David, how you doing?
Real good. How you doing?
I'm all right. So tell us, what's the story about Tron Evolution? Because it's not a port of the movie, obviously.
No, definitely not. It's a prequel to the movie. It tells how we come from the 1982 utopia to the dystopia that you're seeing in all the trailers around there.
So what exactly is your character? What part does he play in all this?
Well, Flint is in and out of the system, and he's noticing some events and stuff like that going on. So what he's done is he needs to give Tron an ally. So he wrote a brand new system monitor program, and that is you, the player.
We just played a demo, obviously. We've got both on-cycle demo and on-foot demo. What would you say is the balance between being on the cycle and on foot?
So on foot is it's a combination of combat and mobility. So there's a lot of puzzles and a lot of you have to use your mobility to get through, as well as mobility in your combat. So that takes up about 70% of the gameplay. The other 30% of the gameplay is on your light cycle, as well as light tank.
Now you mentioned there's in the combat there's light discs. Can you tell us a little bit about that in the combat mode?
Well, light discs are your soul in the Tron world. They're everything. They're all about you. So if you lose your light disc, you basically become unhinged. But they're also your weapon. And with that weapon, there's a standard light disc, which every person in Tron has, but you know how to use it. And then you get upgrades to that light disc. You get one light disc that make you basically stealthy. Other light discs that cause area effect spells or area effects. And stasis, and you can slow down time. All of those kind of things. You can upgrade your disc, which upgrade your power, and then you can take those online.
Hey, you just mentioned online. Tell us a little about the online multiplayer with it.
Well, what I can mention to you right now is that what you do in the story mode and what you do to develop your character in the game could be taken online, and what you earn experience online, you can take that back to the game and progress through the game.
So a constantly evolving Tron universe, basically.
Definitely.
And when can we expect to see it on store shelves, and for what systems?
This will be out in holidays of this year, and it'll be on Xbox and PS3.
This is Ray Carsillo, and we're still here at the Disney booth here at E3, and I'm with Matt Ozarek, and he is one of the associate producers on Epic Mickey, one of the biggest, I guess, most anticipated titles of E3. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing great today. Thank you.
Hey man, for what we saw in the demo, it looks fantastic. Being a Disney fan growing up, so you guys did a great job on it so far from what I've seen.
Thank you. We're all really excited to be working on this project. Everybody loves Mickey, everybody loves all the Disney cartoons, and we love video games, so putting it all together is just a project that we all dream of doing.
Very cool. Tell us a little bit about the story about Epic Mickey.
So the story for Mickey is, there's this world where all the forgotten and the rejected characters and concepts from all of Disney's archives in his past go when they are no longer remembered by the public. So they're all residing here, and Mickey starts fooling around one day, messes with some stuff that he shouldn't, as a mischievous mouse will do, and causes some havoc in the world. So come the start of the game, Mickey's pulled back into the world, and he's trying to undo all the damage he's done and become the hero of the wasteland.
Now, to tell us about this game, it's got some platformer and RPG elements. How did you guys get that balance going?
That's actually a trademark of Warren Spector. It's been a privilege to work with a man who's been doing this for many years on a lot of great games. So he loves mixing in genres. So we have a lot of this classic 2D platformer you'll see. We have a lot of the 3D platformer. And we've built in a lot of the RPG, the choice and consequence, where the play style matters. So as you go through the world, you'll have a lot of decisions, a lot of things to decide, how to do, what to do, and how to go about doing it. And that will affect the rest of the game as you come back and replay those areas.
Talk a little bit about Mickey's powers. We noticed there's a lot of, all around E3, there's a lot of painted Mickey emblems all around. So talk a little bit about his powers and how paint specifically affects the game.
So Mickey, when he's put into the world, he mixes with a lot of the world's powers. And this whole world is made out of paint and thinner. So when he's dragged into the world, he gains these powers through a magic paintbrush. And as he goes through the world, anything made of cartoon, anything at all, characters, objects, platforms, Mickey can erase with his thinner, or he can paint back in with his paint. So as you go through, you can fix stuff up, you can restore the world to pristine, or you can go through and kind of make shortcuts through the world. It damages the world a little bit, but it does help get the job done.
I was gonna say, where can I get me one of these magic paintbrushes?
I would love to have one, especially when I can turn anyone into my friend with a paintbrush.
That's pretty cool. When can we expect to see Epic Mickey on store shelves?
We're looking to have Epic Mickey on the store shelves holiday this year.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cage. This is Konami booth. We're sampling Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Adapted come out fall 2010. Bringing back some old Castlevania with some new skills, some new features. Everybody can get into it. It's old Castlevania fans, new Castlevania fans. It's a little fun for everybody.
It's also very interesting whip design. I see it's when he's not holding it, it's a cross, and then when he unleashes it, it's a full-blown whip. Can you upgrade the whip as the game goes along?
As the game goes along, you're able to use the experience points that you gain from different fighting to upgrade weapons, to upgrade moves, to add more to your weapon. For example, you'll be able to add a stake later on, a wooden stake to stab the vampires.
How much does magic come into the gameplay?
Magic will come into a pretty important play later in the game. You better use your magic to augment weapons. You better add magical properties to your melee weapons. You better use magic outright. That's the magic, dark magic, and the magic of light.
When can we expect to see it on store shelves?
Looking for September.
All right, we are here at the Atari booth at E3, and we just had a demo of Test Drive Unlimited 2, and I'm sitting now with Vince, the executive producer of Test Drive Unlimited 2. Vince, how you doing today?
Yeah, pretty good, yeah.
Dude, this is probably the most community-driven racing game I've ever seen. Talk a little bit about how you were able to, I guess, implement all these different community incentives to try and get people to really work together and play together.
Okay, well, I mean, a lot of the kind of design emphasis came from the original game, which obviously came out in 2006. A lot of things we did with that, it was a big open world, you could do lots of different things on it. There was a whole host of modes that players could get into and kind of enjoy. We basically looked at the community, ones they enjoyed, what they liked to do, and a lot of that was as much about hanging out and enjoying these beautiful environments as it was about racing. So really that was the germ of the idea. That's what we went away and kind of worked on. We thought, how can we keep these guys together? How can we make sure that they're with their friends when they're online? How can we make sure they meet up with other people? Okay, and then how do we go about implementing that and making it kind of intuitive and fun? And really that's where it all came from.
We just saw that the world is absolutely massive. I mean, we only saw a few roads on it. Talk about how massive it actually is and how much exploration we can do.
Yeah, certainly. Well, the original game was set on Hawaii, which was about 1,600 kilometers of road. We've got Hawaii in the game again, so all of that. Now there are off-roads as well. We've got about 900 kilometers of off-road. And we've got Ibiza, a whole new island, with hundreds of kilometers of road on there as well. And in terms of game size, we've been quoting about 2.5 times the size of the original, which was already known for being huge. So we're pretty confident that it's big enough.
Now, of course, there's a lot more to this than just racing in terms of gameplay. There's also different modes like follow the leader, what we saw. What other things challenges can we see in the game?
Well, there's a whole bunch. I mean, players familiar with the first one, they see all the same, like the speed challenges and the head-to-head stuff. There's a bunch of stuff in there that we're not revealing quite yet, but we can say that there's cooperative as well as head-to-head. And we see a happy return of the editor as well, so players can go in, create their own challenges. One of the really cool things you can do with the game is you can post it online, you can set rewards for it, you can earn money out of other people not being as good for you, or lose money if they are good for you. So there's a whole system about the economy and the trading of user-generated content as well.
And the most important question is, when can we see Test Drive Unlimited 2 out on store shelves?
It's coming out September this year.